for those folks who have just come in, I am Nina Bullock, the Durham County Cares Manager, and we call Durham County Cares DCo Cares. We are not Durham Cares. That is a different organization, and people get that confused. So that is why we generally go by DCo Cares. Just to avoid that confusion with Durham Cares. And then for those who have been at the county for a while, they will call it County Cares. But it is Durham County Cares, DCo Cares. And I will give a quick, brief overview of what DCo Cares is. I will ask that if you are not on mute, that you put yourself on mute so that we can avoid any background noise during this presentation. Here we go. So, Durham County Cares, these are our logos. These are the approved logos. If you see anything other than this, please let me know so I can have that person drawn and quartered. All right. So, the purpose of the Durham County Cares campaign, we were established in 2011 when the county manager at the time wanted to create an internal federated charitable giving campaign. And thus, DCo Cares was born. And the organizations that we select every year are in line with our strategic plan goals. And so we will have 2 organizations each year that are selected per category. And that will be under our community and family prosperity, our health and well-being for all, safe and secure community, environmental stewardship, and then we have a multi-service area, which usually has organizations like United Way that are those umbrella organizations. So this year's campaign will run for 2 weeks. It will begin officially on Monday, October 24th, and will end on Friday, November 4th. Our campaign goal is set to $75,000 again this year. And we do have our pledge forms will be electronic again this year. County employees will need to be on the county network. So you can either be in office on the county network or you will have to be on the virtual, logged into the virtual network in order to access that pledge form. This year, in addition to donating to our recipient organizations, you also have the opportunity to contribute to Human Resources Donated Leave Bank. Now, this is an internal bank that provides donated leave to employees who may fall ill and do not have enough leave to cover being out while they are in recovery. That does not qualify for incentive prizes, but it is an added option for employees. And you can donate to, we would love if employees would donate to our recipient organizations and also consider donating time to the leave bank. All of the information that employees need will be on the Durham County Cares employee page that is on our durhamcountycares.org website. And I will do a brief overview of that following the presentations of our recipient organization. And I want us all to keep in mind that the goal of this campaign is to help others, whether you are helping 2-legged beings or 4-legged beings. The goal of this campaign is to help others. 100% of all donations go to these recipient organizations. We do not take any money internally. It would be nice. I would like a raise, but that's not what this is about. This is about helping others. And so every single penny that our employees donate go to these organizations. These are our fabulous 10 recipient organizations this year. Congratulations to them for getting through the application process and the voting process. These are the organizations that our employees have chosen. So some of these organizations are vets, and we do have a couple of newcomers. So it just goes to show that new organizations can get into this campaign. Absolutely. And these will be the organizations presenting to you all today. This is a list of our 2022 campaign committee. So departments, these are your department representatives. Before you harass them, make sure you go to that durhamcountycares.org employee page. All of your questions should be answered there. And if not, then you can reach out to your department representatives. We are also on social media. So please feel free to like and share our social media pages. And now we will begin our recipient organization presentations. We will begin with Emma Hansen from Casa.
Okay, so my name is Emma Hansen. I am the Grants and Communications Manager with Casa. Thank you so much for having me. We are really honored to be included with all these amazing nonprofits, so thank you. And I will jump right in because I know this is a quicker presentation. So Casa provides affordable housing to our community's lowest income residents. We build and manage affordable apartment communities and then rent them to people who are, for one reason or another, unable to access traditional housing. And that might be because they're very low income, because they've got a history of evictions on their record, because they have poor credit or no credit, or because they're experiencing homelessness. But truly, we aim to provide a permanent home to people who have nowhere else to go. Once they're in their Casa apartment, they do have the option to renew their lease year after year. Our apartments are not time limited. We also set our tenants' rent and utilities at 30% of their income, no matter what their income is. We then assess that rent every year. So even if their income changes, they're still paying an amount that's affordable to them. So our goal as a housing provider is that our residents never have to experience the trauma of homelessness again. We want them to live independently, and we want their housing not to be something that they ever need to worry about again. So after years of homelessness or housing instability, sometimes residents have a hard time transitioning to a permanent home. And we like to think of ourselves as a compassionate landlord, and we will do pretty much all that we can to keep our residents stable. So each resident is connected with a leasing specialist on our team. We have 24-hour maintenance and wellness checks. We have a behavioral health team that will step in if a resident's ever experiencing a mental health crisis. And then we also have a small fund that provides emergency support to residents who are in a financial crisis. So Casa's in a period of growth. Safe, affordable housing is becoming more and more important as our community grows and as housing prices increase and rents increase. In Durham specifically, rents have been increasing dramatically, which puts housing even further out of reach for the income bracket that we focus on serving. On average, our residents make just over $15,000 annually, and I'm sure you all know that there is nowhere you can get an apartment on that income. So we know that our community needs more affordable housing options. And right now in Durham, we own and operate 135 apartment units. And we actually have one in the development pipeline right now. So this is the future location of Bryan Place. It will be 16 one-bedroom units, specifically designated for those exiting homelessness. And as you can see, it's in a great spot. It's right across from Duke Regional Hospital, really close to CVS Pharmacy, and it's right on a bus line. So we're really excited for this one, and we think that we will be able to break ground in the spring. And I just want to end by saying that our organization is powered by donations from the community. There's generally speaking about a $10 gap per day between what a resident can afford to pay in rent and then what it costs us to actually operate and maintain their apartments. So $10 is enough to support someone in their home for a night, and $70 can support someone for a week. So really every little bit does help us deliver on our mission. And that's it. So thank you again for having me, and I'm happy to answer any questions about Casa that you all may have.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Emma. We will have a question and answer period at the conclusion of all of the presentations. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And next we have Joe Daly from Urban Ministries of Durham.
Thank you, Nina. I appreciate it. I don't come to you with a PowerPoint presentation, but I do have an update for you on what's going on at UMD. And you can visit us at umdurham.org to see our new website. So we would encourage you to go there. Casa is a wonderful organization and one of several partners that are actually going to be in the campaign this year. So we're thrilled about that. For those of you who don't know, UMD has been serving Durham since 1983, and our mission is to connect with the community, to end homelessness and to fight poverty by offering food, shelter, and a future to neighbors in need. And what that looks like in the year 2022 is that we have both our shelter services and community services. UMD is the primary public shelter for single adults and the backup shelter for families in Durham. And despite our faith-based beginnings, we are not a faith-based organization, and we will help anyone in need, regardless of race, ethnicity, religious beliefs, or non-faith, sexual orientation, gender identity, or disability. We are a housing first model, which means our case managers work with clients to get them into permanent housing as quickly as possible and to help them achieve stability so they can work on other challenges. We are also low barrier, which means we don't focus on punitive rules enforcement, but on meeting people where they are and helping them make productive use of their time with us in the shelter. Another key component of our program is our workforce development team, which works with clients to help them both access other resources that will help improve their prospects of landing a quality job, but also working with them on aspects of financial literacy, resume building, and interview prep. The other side of our campus is our community resource side. Our community cafe serves 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. And despite COVID, we have not missed serving one meal, thanks to volunteers and staff. We serve about 250,000 meals a year, both to shelter residents and others in the community who need nutrition. We also have our food pantry and clothing closet, which provides fresh and shelf-stable food, diapers, and hygiene items for more than 500 low-resource households per month. As has already been mentioned, we have an affordable housing crisis in Durham and in many parts of the country. The cost of the average rent in downtown Durham is $1,800 a month. And again, the folks that we see at UMD are living at 30% or below the area median income, which means they can afford $609 a month. And if they're earning a minimum wage, they can afford $377 a month. So again, we have a tremendous problem in this community that's really going to take everyone to help solve. On top of that, right now, a lot of landlords are no longer accepting housing vouchers and are asking people to pay 3 or 4 months rent as a deposit up front. So again, the landscape has gotten a lot more challenging for the homeless over the last couple of years, in part due to the pandemic. And the support that we receive through this campaign and other sources in the community is key to us being able to help folks like in those situations bridge the gap to be able to get out of the shelter by perhaps helping them pay for some of those costs that will get them started. But to help them sustain that, obviously, we need more solutions. So we encourage everyone to advocate for more affordable housing. And if you know landlords, encourage them to accept housing vouchers and work with people to provide them with a roof over their head. And if you yourself have space to rent out to someone, consider doing so and doing it at a rate that they can afford. So again, homelessness is really a lack of housing, and that really is what it comes down to. It's a societal problem. We all have a role to play, and we thank everyone for doing their part.
Thank you so much, Joe. And now we will move to Senior Pharmacist. We have Gina Upchurch from Senior Pharmacist.
Thank you, Nina. And a shout out to Joe Daly. He used to be our development director at Senior Pharmacist, so he raised a lot of money to make this happen.
That's why I was confused. Okay.
He used to be with us. That's right. It's been a while. But he's doing great things at UMD.
Okay.
I'm Gina Church. I'm the director of senior pharmacists. I'm the founding director, and we got founded in 1994 when I was 2, of course. So been around for a long time, and we just cannot thank you enough for supporting the work that we do. We're glad to be on the stage with these rock stars that are here with us today. I'm going to talk a little bit about older adults. There's some exciting things going on in Durham, and as you all know, our new sort of mantra here is the better we integrate as agencies, the less we have to navigate and help individuals. Because we know older adults, there are many programs that help people, but navigating the services is really difficult and it's complex. So we think we do a good job with that. I am going to show you our relatively new website, just so you, so this is the home. Well, our very exciting news is the Vice President of the United States was here September 1st. And to introduce a new law called the Inflation Reduction Act. And you can see all sorts of pictures of her. And these are the people that got to meet with her. She was here literally to meet with senior pharmacists. So there she is with the governor and the head of Medicare, Medicaid, and the Children's Health Insurance Program. And there's me with the gray hair. So we had the wonderful opportunity to have her and the mayor and other people. And I got to introduce her to the crowd. So you can read about that. But it was very exciting because we do advocacy work. And we want to go upstream. So while we want to help people with medications in Durham, we also want policies to change that have a big influence. So that is one thing that we do. Now, we can't use government dollars or anything. That's why private dollars really help us. I want to talk a little bit about what our services are real fast, because I know this is quick. But we do 4 things. And the way I like to describe it these days is it's the taking of what I would call social drivers of health, right? We don't call them determinants because people's lives change. Social drivers of health, and we try to integrate that with prescription drugs and access to the medical care that people need. So we're trying to integrate these services so it's less difficult. I mean, it's less difficult for individuals to know about the services that are out there in Durham, because there are a lot of services, but again, they're not easy to tap. So we do 4 things. The first thing we do is we do medication therapy management. I'm one of 4 pharmacists. We have to access to Duke's electronic health record. We streamline drug regimens. For every dollar in the United States we pay for medicines, we spend $1.36 fixing problems caused by medications. Polypharmacy, medication overload. It's a huge public health problem. Direct financial assistance. We have a card, like a credit card, that they take to any pharmacy where we don't dispense, and we lower their co-payments for people at or below 200%. So we're like a little we're an insurance company for older adults in Durham with more limited incomes. Medicare D, the drug benefit, plays first, but we shrink their co-payments so they can afford what they need, right? Medicare insurance counseling, we are in the middle, and I was telling Nina, I'll try to stay on as long as I can. We're in the middle of a 7-week open enrollment period where people can make Medicare decisions. We are the SHIP Seniors Health Insurance Information Program for Durham County. So we're trained by the Department of Insurance to do Medicare counseling. We aren't selling anything, so we're unbiased in the way that we help people make insurance decisions. Last year, we helped people, and this has been through the years. 50 to 75% of the time, people need to switch drug plans to save on average anywhere from about $660 to about $900 on average. So they're leaving money on the table if they don't pay attention. So I would love for you all to help us with outreach. We have wonderful outreach materials. So if you think anything you can do is to get the word out in the community, please be in touch with me at Senior Pharmacist, and we'll make sure we get you the materials. And the last thing is tailored community referrals. So we try to use motivational interviewing. All of our staff is trained through 2-day REI, racial equity training. The county helps support that, by the way. And we continue to do that because we think motivational interviewing and racial equity, we have to wear those hats or we're really not going to serve people well, and everybody won't feel like they belong here. And we want to make sure that everybody does feel like they belong. with that, we try to understand what it is they need. We don't tell them everything they're eligible for. We really try to focus on what their priority is. I'll just in case you're helping somebody with Medicare, we have a wonderful Medicare website that talks about the different parts of Medicare. We have lots of videos. And so you can go there. Lastly, we do have some recent videos that we made, and we really like them. And it was actually Department of Social Services that asked us to make the one here for participants. So why would somebody want to use our program? And then the second one is why would providers care to use our program? They're each less than 5 minutes. I hope you'll watch them. And a lot of the Medicare materials that we use are under Medicare. So we just cannot thank you enough for helping us out.
All right. Thank you so much. And our next presenter will be for Food Bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina, Emily Miller.
All right. Hello, I am Emily Catherine Mueller with the Food Bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina, and specifically we are talking today about our Durham branch. The food bank has been around for over 40 years, since 1980, and we currently serve 34 counties in North Carolina. So we split that into 6 branches. So currently we have branches in Wilmington, New Bern, Greenville, Southern Pines, Raleigh, and of course Durham. And so this is our Durham branch up here in blue, which serves the 6 counties, including Durham County, Chatham, Granville, Orange, Person, and Vance. Last year, as a total organization, we distributed more than 97 million pounds of food, and we're very proud to let people know that more than half of that was perishable. A lot of people tend to associate the food bank with cans, which, as it is Can Day at the fair, is very important to us, of course. But we also work really hard to ensure that a certain percentage of the food we give out is what we consider to be foods to encourage, which are things like lean meats, whole grains, fresh produce, and options like this. So we really work hard to ensure that healthy options are becoming more accessible in the area. Last year, our Durham branch specifically provided more than 17 million pounds of food. And we always like to remind people we don't do this alone. The Durham branch works with about 148 local agencies. These are going to be things like daycares, food pantries, group homes, senior homes, anywhere that you can think of that's a nonprofit in your area that's providing food. They probably work with us in some capacity. And as well as providing food to these agencies, we work really hard to really just be a collective capacity organization for the hunger relief network. So we provide things like equipment, best practices training around food safety, around development and marketing, finances. We work with partners around disaster training and things like this. And so really working to ensure that those agencies have support year-round from us, more than just food. That allows us to stay flexible, especially during times like COVID and other disasters. We, out of the 200 food banks across the nation, as a part of Feeding America, we rank 15th in our amount of distribution. So we are a pretty high-powered organization here in the area. Some of the local partners that we work with in the Durham service area that you guys may be familiar with as well. We work with Catholic Charities, we work with Grace Outreach Ministries, Chatham Outreach Alliance, Gang Free, Iglesia Presbyteriana Emmanuel, and many others. And we also like to remind folks our mission is not just to nourish people, but also build solutions and empower communities. We are very interested, as Gina had said, in that upstream work. And so we do a lot, not only around providing emergency food, but we also have programs looking at food systems work, public policy around food, benefits outreach that connects folks to food stamps, as well as things like LEAP, energy assistance, and Medicaid Part D. We also work with folks around nutrition education. We do cooking demos. We train pantries on how to provide their own nutrition education, as well as doing work in the community to ensure that local food systems have the advocacy and work support that they need. And we're also just proud to say that 97% of all the funds donated to us go directly to food and our food programs. And so we're so thankful for having you guys with us today. And any questions, happy to take those later.
Thank you so much, Emily. And now we will have Animal Protection Society of Durham. Presenting for them will be Anna Wilcox.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anna Wilcox, and I'm the Events and Communications Manager here at APS of Durham. I'm so excited to be here with you guys today to tell you more about APS. We're really grateful to have this opportunity. The Animal Protection Society is a leader in building lifelong bonds between people and animals through education, community outreach, and providing care for animals in need. For more than 30 years, we have been a 501c3 that holds a contract to manage the county shelter. This means we receive about 30% of our funding from the county, and the rest comes from wonderful community donors like you all, grants, events, and other shelter programs. Our largest program is our adoptions program, of which we adopted out 2,195 animals last fiscal year. In addition, we sent out 347 animals to rescue and worked hard to reunite 523 animals with their owners. We also stand proud on our community initiatives, which line up with our mission of caring for animals in need and building lifelong bonds between people and animals. We offer a pet pantry available to the public, of which we gave out 13,995 pounds of food and 2,046 pounds of litter in the past fiscal year. This is available to anyone who may fall on hard times, but still needs to provide for their animals, allowing us to help keep people and their pets together. We also facilitated 799 spay and neuter surgeries for owned animals with our partnership with SNAP NC. We also offer emergency vet care for lost animals whose owners can't be found. We actually are the only place that offers that service in Durham County. So as previously mentioned, we work hard to keep people and their pets together. We're very proud to tell the story of Harper Lee. Harper Lee came to us after her owner found his home engulfed in flames. He ran in after her and was rushed to the local emergency vet hospital for medical care, where she was treated for smoke inhalation, eye damage, and other various medical issues. APS became her custodian and caregiver while her dad recovered from his injuries. When he got back on his feet, while he got back on his feet, Harper Lee was placed into a foster care home where she could also recover from her extensive injuries, receiving medical care and attention that she required. Once they were both healed and had some time to recuperate, we were able to reunite the two. And actually, that picture you see on the right was taken just a few short weeks ago. They came back and stopped in for a visit. We got to say hello and just check in and see how they were doing. This is a result of our caring community. We are here for pets and pet owners, helping to unite and reunite families when pet owners fall in hard times, and the assistance with pet food. Vet assistance is needed when cost is the only barrier to keeping pets spayed or neutered. APS of Durham, we're here to help. All because you guys value pets and keeping them with their families rather than displacing them unnecessarily when we have better alternatives to offer. Ultimately, we stand proud in the fact that we reflect your commitment to animals. We're here to provide comfort, compassion, and care to pet issues that exist in our community. So thank you guys so much for giving me this opportunity. We're really proud of what we do and would really appreciate anything that you guys want to get involved in. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Anna.
Yeah.
We'll just skip ahead to Durham Crisis Response Center and have Karina Garcia present.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me just share my screen. As mentioned, my name is Karina. I am a bilingual legal advocate with our agency. So we are the Domestic Violence Sexual Assault Agency here in Durham. Our mission is to work with the community to end domestic sexual violence, family violence, and human trafficking through the use of advocacy, education, support, and prevention methods. So this is just the overview of some of the programs that we offer. We offer 7 different programs. So starting off with crisis services, this is usually where our clients primarily connect with, either by calling our helpline, which we do offer services in English and Spanish. This program also hubs our LGBTQ specific services for anybody who does identify as LGBTQ. We offer assistance with the rapid rehousing. So as we know, housing is a large need, especially amongst domestic violence victims who may have been displaced from the home once they've left the abusive party. And so we work with them by providing them assistance with getting connected with PHA, Section 8, and just other shelters in the community as well, if we're at capacity as well, and just helping them find more long-term housing availability in the community. This is also where our sexual assault advocate and human trafficking case manager is housed. And so they provide more direct services as well and ongoing case management for our victims who do interact with our agency. Next, we have our counseling and support groups program. So we do offer counseling referrals and specific support groups for sexual assault victims and domestic violence victims. Our therapists are working on a limited basis right now, but majority of it is being done through working with our community agencies as well in the with other partners to make referrals for our clients who we engage with. Then we have our immigrant services program. So as we know, Durham does have a large Latinx community. So we have 2 case managers here who work more intensely with providing them with services such as getting a hold of their ID cards, working with the U visa process, case management services for children. And that is not specifically just for the Latinx community, but anybody who is in our community and is an immigrant can engage with this program directly. Next, we have a rape prevention and education program. So our coordinator actually goes out to middle schools, high schools, and now elementary schools as well to start teaching young children about what dating violence may look like, intimate partner violence, and so engaging and teaching them what those red flags in dating can look like so that they are also able to recognize it, or so we can also engage with children who may be the children of a perpetrator or a victim and may not know it. So just other ways to engage with the community and teach them about domestic violence. We also have our emergency shelter. So we do provide about a 2-week stay for victims who are accepted into our shelter. It does work on a limited basis as well. And so once we are at capacity, we do assist them with relocating outside of the county and then also relocating out of the state if need be. But our shelter case managers do provide ongoing services as well for that long-term housing and work with our rapid rehousing program as well. The program that I work with directly is going to be the legal advocacy program. So I'm based out of the courthouse. And so what I do on a day-to-day basis is assist victims who may either screen in as high lethality through our LAP program in coordination with the Sheriff's Department and with the Durham Police Department. And so we'll assist victims who come into our office with obtaining protection orders and navigating the criminal justice process. So taking out police reports, going to court, engaging with the assistant district attorneys who may be assigned to cases. And so that is a lot of what we do over on our side of the agency. And then last but not least, we do have our thrift store called Pennies for Change, where victims are referred as well to get assistance with clothing if they've had to relocate and do not have those basic needs. And then we also have it open to the community so that other people can also go and shop, and all those proceeds would go directly to providing the services to our clients that we work with. All our programs are free and confidential, so anybody who comes in and uses our services does not have to pay at all to engage with us, and they can come in and use as many programs as they would like. They are all open to them. Alrighty. As we know, domestic violence does not discriminate against age, gender, economic status, and so these are some of the faces of people who are out there working tirelessly to help the community and people who are victimized. So 1 in 4 women will be victim, 1 in 10 men will be victim. And so what we try to do is engage as much as we can through outreach, through our programs, for anybody who does come in and seek our services. Unfortunately, budget cuts at the federal and state level have affected various agencies across the state, and so DCRC is one of them. Donations from the community are more important than ever to continue to do the work that we do on a daily basis. And so your selection of our agency does help to continue the work that we have done for decades. And we are on social media. I do have the link as well to our website if you guys want to check it out. And it does have additional resources for supporting family members, victims, and survivors, how to get them connected to us as well. And then our helpline numbers are also listed there as well, and our social media accounts. It is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, so I do encourage you guys to reach out and take a look at our social media pages to see any events that we do have ongoing, and then any lunch and learns or presentations that are pending for the rest of the month.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, I didn't hear back from Earthshare, but is there someone on here from Earthshare that would like to do a brief presentation? Keep Durham Beautiful. We'll have Tanya Doutlick that will be presenting. Tanya?
I'm Tanya. I'm Executive Director of Keep Durham Beautiful. So Keep Durham Beautiful is a nonprofit organization that works in partnership with the City of Durham and Durham County to engage volunteers and work with all kinds of community organizations, really hundreds, from environmental organizations to city and county work groups to neighborhood groups, faith-based groups, scouts, and so many schools and classrooms. And we focus on litter prevention, waste reduction, and community greening. And we really empower residents to seek the change that they want to see in their neighborhood and guide us in what they'd like to see happen. And then we work to pull the resources together to really make those things happen. We have been working with, as I mentioned, so many different organizations to cultivate a greater sense of community belonging and placemaking. And our focuses can include everything from cigarette litter prevention to tree planting. And among our litter prevention programs, we have managed the Adopt a Street program, Big Sweep, which is going on right now. Some of you may have heard of it and been involved, and Litter Kits in Schools program. For the Litter Kits in Schools program, last spring, we engaged 1,500 students just in 3 months. They picked up enough litter to take up the space of 3.5 school buses. And this was a program that embedded a litter kit, which is our signature litter grabbers, trash bags, gloves, vests, in the school so that the teachers didn't have to take time out of their busy lives to come and pick up supplies from us. They were able to really make a difference and teach the concepts of environmental stewardship and help the students feel a sense of pride and control over their community spaces, and to learn from one another and teach one another how to take good care of their environment and the neighborhood where their schools exist. And so that's just one example of the many different litter prevention programs that we host. And we partner with many different Durham County departments, such as the Soil and Water Conservation District and Durham County Cooperative Extension, and of course, Durham Public Schools, Durham County Health Department. And so last year, our volunteers picked up 54,000 pounds of litter and 11,000 pounds of recyclables. And that is a lot of litter. That fills probably hundreds of school buses. And we've partnered with Durham Police. This picture here is some Durham police officers who work with students through the PALS program, which teaches kids how to have like wholesome activities that build character and get them out into the environment and giving back to their communities. So our program really just facilitates all kinds of really beneficial environmental stewardship activities that build a sense of pride. I mentioned tree planting. Last year, we planted 650 trees with our volunteers and brought volunteers also to community gardens throughout Durham. We partner with probably over 10 community gardens. Last year, we worked with 7. These are students from a public school building a rain garden using native plants. So the native plants have an added benefit of providing habitat and enhancing our ecosystem, while they also can filter the water that is coming off of roofs and reducing the impact to our stormwater system and creating clean, healthy drinking water for our communities. And the community gardens that grow vegetables, we've been able to bring the volunteer resources that are really needed by these neighborhoods that manage community gardens in food insecure neighborhoods. We also steward the Tree Keeper program and Durham Bee City, as well as cultivating strong environmental concepts like reducing the need to take leaves off of property. So we're encouraging people to leave their leaves around trees and all kinds of different environmental stewardship concepts that we get the chance to share with the residents of Durham. And so we have a newsletter that goes out twice a month, much more frequently than that. You can scan this URL code to register for our newsletter, or you can follow the link that's here on this slide so that you can become informed about things that we're able to do in partnership with you and your perhaps work group at Durham County, or with your neighborhood or other club or organization that you belong with. So we really try to make it real easy for people to give back to their community with a low bar of entry. We just facilitate public-private partnerships, and we try to do programs that are really in line with the priorities of the city of Durham and Durham County, so that we're a partner in making Durham a better place to live and a healthier place for all. It's really important to us that everyone in Durham has a healthy, clean, and green space to exist. And we realize that people have not always been treated equitably, and so we are really trying to follow the lead of our communities and do what we can to bring a healthy community environment to all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, and now we will move to Housing for New Hope. April Johnson will be presenting for them.
So I'm April Johnson. I am the Director of Community Engagement and Giving here at Housing for New Hope. And our mission is to end homelessness one valuable person at a time. And our organization stands on 4 pillars. And our pillars is that every person is valuable. Every person has the right to housing. And it is the power of community that will help us resolve these housing issues. And that we believe affordable housing contributes to a just society. And as you've heard before with the previous organizations, we are experiencing a severe affordable housing crisis in Durham, but not just in Durham, and within our state, then our nation, and in some cases abroad. So what do we do about it? We have 5 major programs, and I will go through them quickly. I know time is running out. We serve those who are experiencing homelessness or who are about to experience homelessness. And just like Urban Durham Ministries, we do not have a barrier to entry. Our barrier is very low. And we do operate on the Housing First model as well. So our first program is our Street Outreach program. We are the primary agency in Durham County that does street outreach. And what that does is that we have a team of staff that actually goes out into the community and connects with those who are unsheltered. And we try to connect them to resources as well as connect them to resources as far as getting housing. We also respond to referrals from businesses, downtown businesses, you or your neighbors, anyone calling us and to say, hey, there is a person experiencing homelessness within my neighborhood, next door, at the store. We see this person here, and we will go out to that location to have a conversation with that person. Our other program is Housing Location and Navigation, and what that does is that we have another team of people who connect with landlords. And just as Mr. Daly said earlier, we do have an issue with we don't have enough landlords, we don't have enough housing stock for clients who need affordable housing at 50% or below AMI is becoming very difficult. So we have a team of people trying to connect with apartment buildings, property owners, anyone who has property who will allow us to usher our clients into their doors. Our rapid rehousing program is it helps people quickly get into housing and provides a limited financial assistance for a limited time as it relates to rent, utilities, whatever you need to get into housing, with some case management support so that you can find stability after your assistance ends. Our supportive housing units, we own 40 plus units here in Durham. And that is, they are efficiency apartments, typically for those who have experienced chronic homelessness and who have disabling conditions, whether it's substance abuse issues, whether it's mental illness, or some type of physical disability. And then along with that is support services. So again, case managers are helping you get to a place of stability, of housing security. We're going to work with someone to help you find income. We're going to work with you to connect you to mental health services. We're going to help do other peer support services to help you be able to stand on your own and not need as much assistance to live. And we also have affordable housing. These are our working class individuals who are at 50% AMI or below. They typically have a job. Our Holloway Place property is a house that has 7 units, bedrooms, and this is for single women. It's a co-housing place. And then we also have Co-Mill Place. It is a 10-unit apartment building here in Durham, 50% AMI. This is a family-oriented apartment building, and it houses, and then it has 2 to 3 bedrooms for families. So that's who Housing for New Hope is in a nutshell. We also provide, our community gets involved to build housing essential kits. This provides basic things that you and I have that other people may not have, like pots and pans, bedding for yourself, bath essentials, things for the kids, comforters, things that you need to just kind of get started to make your house a home. So join our community, support Housing for New Hope and the wonderful things we're doing for people. And we hope that you support us. This is how you can contact us. Again, my name is April Johnson. Thank you.
Thank you so much, April. United Way of the Greater Triangle Takeover. Okay.
It's good to be with everyone. I really appreciate hearing the stories of partnership of all these partners. They're doing amazing work and heroic work. My name is Eric Buchan. I'm the CEO and president of United Way of the Greater Triangle, where our mission is to eradicate poverty and increase social mobility through the power of partnerships. And I just want to tell you briefly a little bit, I'm not going to do any PowerPoints or anything, just briefly tell you about some of the things that we've been up to. We are supporting 50 Durham nonprofits as part of our Community Impact Fund. And those range from folks that you may have heard about, like YMCA and Big Brothers Big Sisters, but also the Diaper Bank in North Carolina, MAME that does work with birthing parents, Interfaith Food Shuttle, and there's a list, there's a pretty extensive list. Our applications over the last 2 years during this pandemic year have tripled, which I think obviously speaks to community need, but it also speaks to community trust. So we have more applications than ever. In addition to more applications, we were able to put over 40% more dollars into the hands of those nonprofits over the course of the last 2 years during this pandemic year. And in addition to that, we've responded to community crises in Durham and in the Triangle. Obviously, the pandemic, we had a rapid response fund that raised over $2 million. We responded to the McDougal terrorist crisis that where we had 300 families. We did a Band Together concert that raised another $1 million for pandemic relief. And we had an anti-racism community fund where we raised money for the racial reckoning that continues to happen in our country. all of your money that you give to United Way goes to the Triangle. And as I mentioned, we support over 50 Durham nonprofits. We're 4 out of 4 on Community Navigator. We take your investment as a sacred trust. And if you want to designate, we have a community impact fund, which I can talk about in a minute. But if you want to designate through United Way to any of these great organizations, we have no administrative fee for that. So it's dollar for dollar going to any of those, because we believe that you should be funding your passions, and you should be doing that through United Way. Why United Way? Because think of it as a mutual fund for social impact. Any one of these great organizations is not going to be able to eradicate poverty. We have to do this together, and we ask for your support. And just really proud to be a part of this group, and thank you.
And so now I will open up the Q&A if anybody has any specific questions for our organizations. Just raise your hand, or you can pop it in the chat, and I will read that for you. Nothing coming in the chat. Wow, you guys must have done a great job on these presentations. Nobody has any questions. That's fabulous. Okay. Well, I'm certainly not going to complain about that. So I have gotten some complaints that I'm not on camera. Hi, I'm a real person. Hello, everyone. So I will briefly just share my screen and show our employees and our recipient organizations the DCo Cares website and where they can go find information and where they can find their pledge forms. So, Durham County employees, you have received emails from DCo Cares, and you will be receiving more. So just prepare yourselves over the next couple of weeks. I promise I won't bombard you, but this is our website. You can either go to DCoCares.org or DurhamCountyCares.org, and it will default you. DCoCares.org will default you to DurhamCountyCares.org. And you can go to the DCo employees page, and there will be direct links to this page in the emails that are sent to you all. And here you will have access to all of the information that you should need for this year's campaign. Your pledge forms will be multiple links here. All of the information you need to have about your pledge forms are located here. We also have a link to that leave donation form that'll take you to HR's site on My DCo. We also have a video here that will show you how to complete your pledge form. We have a list of your department representatives, some other links, including our frequently asked questions. So if you have questions about the campaign, click on the FAQ first, and then if you don't have a response, you can feel free to email DCo Cares. We'll also have a list of the EarthShare and United Way designation options. We'll have direct links right here for all of our recipient organizations. So you just go to whatever organization you're interested in finding out, click on that, and it'll open up their website. Well, if we have some special events this campaign, that information will be housed here. We'll also be showing department stats. So it'll be your performance review. Okay. And we also have included a new feature, which is all of the annual totals per department since this campaign began in 2011. So you can go back and see how your department has, how much money your department has raised, or what your participation percentage was over these last, my goodness, has it been 11 years now? Wow. Yeah, over these last 11 years. So, and when the incentive prizes are announced, they will be housed here. If you get your pledge forms in by 11:59 p.m. tomorrow, Friday, October 21st, you will be eligible for a special $250 gift card drawing and all of the subsequent incentive prize drawings. Yes, you can win more than once, and we have had it happen before. So I encourage everyone to please, please, please visit this webpage, get the information you need. If there are questions that you need answered by the organizations, feel free to scroll down, click on their website. I'm just using Casa as and it'll take you directly to their website, and then you can contact whomever you need. I want to thank all of our presenters today. Oh, wait, I see we got a question. Pam Purefoy?
Hey, Nina, aren't
Yes.
our contributions taken out of our check before taxes?
Yes.
Yeah,
Contributions are pre-taxed.
pre-tax.
Yes.
Right, great. Thanks. I think that's a great selling point because you really don't feel it at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, and I'd like to remind folks that, I never like to pretend that I know what's going on in anyone's household.
Right.
But I know Durham County employees are we're a hard working bunch of folks, and I know a lot of people are feeling a little overworked. We got the holidays coming up, but I like to remind people that compared to others, we are a lucky bunch, and I have to brag about Durham County employees because I've been doing this DCo Cares thing for 11 years, and I have to say that Durham County employees not only show up to work every day to help other people, but when this campaign rolls around, they show up again. And we have a lot of people, we may have people who do live paycheck to paycheck, but they recognize that they can help others. And I have to say that's a testament to the makeup of this organization. And so I want to give props to our folks because they do a fantastic job giving every single year, every year. So yes, and so your donations are pre-tax. That is a great selling point. I believe that's on the FAQ. But if anyone else has any questions, please.
Nina,
Yes.
there's a question in the chat from Heather. What tends to be more beneficial for organizations? And it moved.
Okay,
so
one-time
one-time payment of smaller amounts each month.
A one-time payment or the biweekly payment. So we have two options that employees can select. They can either do a one-time donation or they can do the biweekly donations, and that's every 2 weeks, and that'll be 26 pay periods.
Rena, this is Heather. I was actually just kind of curious from the organization's point of view, what tends to be more helpful for you guys? If you get your lump sum up front and you can then kind of plan with it, or is it better to know that you're going to have a consistent monthly payment?
This is Gina Upchurch with Senior Pharmacist. It's sort of like faith communities. They ask often because, you get this money and you can plan with it. But for us, I think, there's some people that have been giving to us for years, and it's really helpful to know that it's going to come again, whether it's once a year or every month coming, because it helps you plan. I know people don't make multi-year commitments to give to somebody, but that is sort of our response to it. A lot of times people, if they give monthly, they feel like they can give a little bit more. So instead of giving $60, say $5 a month, you say, well, I can give $6 a month. And then, you end up giving $72. So it allows people to sometimes give more if they give monthly, but I'd love to hear what the other folks think.
Yeah, I think Gina's spot on. I've definitely found that people can stretch a little more if they spread the payments out. So, really, we are glad for both. Monthly givers, of course, give you that peace of mind. They're going to be there, and kind of even out the ebbs and flows in revenue across the year. So, we respect whatever an individual situation is in terms of their giving, but yeah, that's what I'd add.
Nina, this is Linda, and I just wanted to say this is a great presentation. I love the opportunity to hear all the recipient organizations, and I just wanted to say, I work with FMLA, and oftentimes we have employees that go into leave without pay. So combining this effort for DCo Cares with the donated leave, I think is excellent. And I hope those of you with the large balances of leave would consider giving leave, because when our employees become ill on an extended leave, it is a godsend to have paid leave donated to them.
Fantastic. Well, I want to thank all of our recipient organizations for being here today and presenting. I know you guys are super busy, and this was kind of dropped in your lap quickly, but you guys are doing great work. And we appreciate the opportunity to host you. We appreciate the opportunity to donate to you guys and to help our community that much more. And to county employees, thank you for showing up today and listening. Thank you for your donations, because I know they'll be trickling in. No, they'll be flooding in.
That's right.
I'm going to call
Flooding.
that. They will be flooding in. And so I want to thank everyone for coming today. If you have any questions, any concerns, please email me at the DCo Cares at dconc.gov, and I will be happy to respond. Thank you all so very much.
Thanks, Nina. Thanks, Durham County. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thanks.